Have you ever wondered what impact eating certain foods has on your body? In particular, have you ever wondered what happens to your body if you stop consuming sugar even for just 30 days? Everyone has been told that we shouldn't consume sugar, most likely they told you to, yet you probably do it anyway. If you've been listening to me for a while, you know that I believe the reason we do or don't do things is that we don't have a strong enough why. There are all these things we know we should and shouldn't do, but we don't have a strong enough why. So we choose the option that seems easiest and least painful in the short term, even though it usually turns out to be the most painful in the long term. This is because we usually don't have enough context on how important it is and what impact it has. For example, they tell you that to be well you should exercise, so why don't you do it? So today I'd like to give you a very, very strong why and lots of reasons to stay away from sugar. Hi, for those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Margarita. I am not a dietitian, a nutritionist, or a food scientist. I am an expert in healthy habits and healthy cooking, aimed at getting back in shape and staying there over time. In short, I like to know what every food I put in my cart and on my plate does to my body, and this is what I share. How to better choose what to put in your shopping cart, why and how to turn it into tasty and nutritious meals. My videos are not intended to be a substitute for medical advice, but only to make you aware of the effect that food and habits have on your body and your well-being, because awareness makes us reflect and helps us choose what is best for us, instead of leaving the choice to chance, the supermarket, or the food industry. Let's get back to it. It's not just about weight. It's about what you eat and which hormones that food activates. The worst thing you can eat is sugar because sugar will stimulate insulin resistance, which will stimulate appetite. First of all, I want to be clear about one thing. Sugar is not a food. To be kind, we could call it a drug, but numerous scientific studies have now proven that it is an addictive substance. It's not about satisfying us or how many calories it has. It's about the damage it causes to our body. But be careful, it is essential to make a distinction. When I talk about sugar, I am not referring to the sugar naturally present in a whole fruit, which we eat with all its fiber, water, and nutrients. Today we are talking about added and refined sugar. The classic cane or beet sugar, sucrose, syrups, and the sugar hidden in almost all industrial products. This type of sugar is extracted, stripped of all nutrients, and concentrated. When we eat it, it arrives in our body like a bomb of pure glucose and fructose, without the fibers that would slow down its absorption. It is precisely this refined sugar, along with white flours that behave in the same way, that is the protagonist of this video and the cause of the problems we are about to discuss. Okay, let's start with two key concepts that seem complicated, but which I will explain to you in a super simple way. Inflammation and insulin resistance. Imagine your body as a perfect machine. When you eat sugars and refined carbohydrates like white bread and pasta, your blood sugar level rises. To manage this peak, the pancreas produces a hormone called insulin. Insulin is like an usher. It takes sugar from the blood and carries it inside the cells to give them energy. But what happens if we eat too much sugar too often? The cells become deaf to insulin. It's as if the usher knocks, but no one opens the door anymore. This is insulin resistance. And here the problems begin. With the sugar blocked outside the cells, the body thinks it has no energy and sends you a signal. I'm hungry. I want more sugar. It's a vicious cycle that not only leads to fat accumulation, but also creates a state of chronic inflammation throughout the body. Inflammation is the root of many health problems. Remember, it's not just a matter of calories, but of the quality of what we eat. And if you wonder why you are always hungry and always crave cookies, ice cream, chocolate, sweets, and other snacks, you might be a victim of this vicious cycle. Okay, you're ready to start. What happens when you decide to say enough for 30 days? Before seeing the benefits, we must be honest. The first few days could be the most difficult. Precisely because sugar acts like a drug on our brain, when we stop consuming it, we might experience a kind of withdrawal crisis. Headaches, fatigue, irritability, and an almost irresistible craving for sweets are normal reactions. It's your body asking for its dose of sugar that you have long accustomed it to. But the good news is that it doesn't last long. Once this phase is over, the real rebirth begins. So don't give up. A solution that was helpful to me in this phase was to eat low-calorie sweet fruit to quell that sense of need. For example, blueberries, strawberries, blackberries, raspberries, watermelon, ... Or to make ice cream or pudding with blended ripe banana. At first, that healthy sugar won't please your brain much because it won't find it sufficient to quell its need, but it will help you hold on until the sugars naturally contained in these fruits become all you need. Immediately after, the first benefits become evident: healthier and cleaner teeth. The bacteria that cause cavities and plaque love sugar. By taking away their favorite food, you will notice smoother and cleaner teeth, but keep brushing them, please. Brighter skin. The inflammation caused by sugar is one of the main causes of acne and skin problems. By reducing it, the skin begins to purify itself from the inside. Less bloating. Sugar feeds the bad bacteria in our gut. Eliminating it helps rebalance the intestinal flora, reducing that annoying feeling of bloating. Once you get past the detox phase, where you might have felt a little down, perhaps uncomfortable because you were out of your comfort zone, the real magic begins. And to understand why, we need to talk about the brain. Why is sugar like a drug for the brain? When we eat sugar, our brain releases dopamine, the same neurotransmitter linked to the feeling of pleasure and reward that is activated with drugs. This makes us feel good ... for a while. The problem is that the brain gets used to it and always wants more to get the same effect. An addiction is created. Eliminating sugar means breaking this cycle. It's hard at first, but then the brain resets and starts working better than ever. And the results are incredible. Constant energy. Without the roller coaster of glycemic peaks, energy becomes constant throughout the day. You can say goodbye to those afternoon slumps. Mental clarity. An excess of sugar can cause a kind of brain fog. With stable energy, the mind becomes clearer and more reactive. Better mood. Less sugar also means less anxiety, less irritability, and a generally more positive mood. Deeper sleep. Stabilizing blood sugar and cortisol, the stress hormone, improves the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone. So you will sleep more deeply. And that's not all. The most important benefits are those you will build for your future health. First and foremost, the reduction of the risk of serious diseases. Reducing sugar drastically lowers the risk of developing type 2 diabetes, heart disease, and fatty liver. You will have a stronger immune system. Sugar weakens our defenses. Without it, our immune system will be stronger against colds and flu. You will achieve real and lasting weight loss. By eliminating the cause of continuous hunger, you will start to lose weight in a healthy and, above all, lasting way. And then there's the rediscovery of flavors. This is one of the most beautiful benefits in my opinion. Your taste buds will reset. You will start to taste the true flavor of food. It will be an incredible experience. We started by looking for a strong enough why to change, and I hope I have given you many. Every single benefit we talked about is a valid reason to start. But the most powerful why of all is the one you will discover yourself. How you will feel, the energy you will have, the mental clarity you will regain. For this reason, I would like to ask you one thing. If you have already tried to eliminate sugar, or if you decide to take this video as a kind of challenge and commit to not eating sugar for 30 days, share your experience in the comments below. Sharing your successes, your difficulties, the benefits you noticed can be of great help to someone. Your story is not just a story, it can become someone else's why. It can give a push to those who are still undecided about starting a wellness journey. Thank you for being with me until the end today and for listening to me. I remind you that if my videos are in any way useful to you or keep you company, you can support the channel with super thanks or a subscription, so I can continue to create increasingly beautiful and useful videos for you. I'll see you next week with the next video. Bye bye.